mortgage rates are dropping, and this is how it could end up being a double-edged sword for home buyers. So usually when you hear mortgage rates are dropping, it's like, oh, this is amazing, it's going to be so good for home buyers, but not necessarily sometimes. And that's why we're making this video today, and hopefully you understand this is a sword. I'm not the best drawer, but I tried to, at least make it look like a sword. I try my best. But what are some of the cons of interest rates dropping? Well, that can lead to more demand, more buyers entering the market. And what does that mean? It's more competitive potentially, depending on your market, but there's a good chance it can be more competitive. And when it's competitive, that same house that maybe if you would have bought it last year, maybe there's not as many offers to compete against, and all in all, potentially could raise up the price of the house because more people are entering in the market. And if you're a seller, okay, now instead of 3 offers, now we got 6 to choose from. Hey, you got someone at this price, you got to bring it up a little bit if you want this house. That's one way to look at it, is there's a potential that it could be more competitive with more buyers entering the market. And the peer pressure factor, you hear it on the news, interest rates dropping, housing is more affordable. What does that do? It's a psychological effect that home buyers that are maybe shopping are now starting to get things going in gear. Oh, this is the perfect time, so I'm gonna, get going and purchase the property because the price is the same, but not necessarily. The price could go up with that interest rate dropping. So it's something to think about. And this is something people don't really talk about as much, is now we're going back to more offers potentially to compete against. Now you may not have as much negotiating power, okay? Because the seller is going to have a lot of leverage if there's more offers potentially, versus like we just talked about, if that same house had less offers, maybe you can negotiate some stuff in the buyer's favor. But that may not be true anymore if there's more offers, more competition, because the seller could be like, no, I'm not going to do that for you guys. So I'm just going to go with a different offer. So that negotiating power that you may have with higher rates, you may not have with lower interest rates. Hopefully that makes sense. Now that we talked about some cons, what are some pros? Okay, what are some pros of interest rates dropping? Okay, now a great rate long term. Maybe you lock in at 6.5%, and you want to ride that out for a long time because who knows what the economy is going to look like, and maybe 6.5% is cheap in the next couple of years. Who knows? No one knows. But people just predict from the way that the industry is going, the economy is going. Wells Fargo is predicting 5.9% end of year 2025. So, that's one thing to keep in mind if you're kind of counting on the market being stable, one way to look at it. But if that isn't true, and somehow maybe the economy gets into a war or something terrible happens, now you're locked in at a rate that may be good. Okay, it may be good. And also affordability on the payments. So now when interest rates are dropping, that monthly payment may not be as expensive anymore versus a 7% interest rate, and it drops down a little bit more. Now the affordability is there. But now with that affordability, we have to go back and remember that purchase price might go up and might offset, what the savings would be with a higher interest rate, if that makes sense. Because if there's more offers, competition, the purchase price might go up. So maybe if that same house last year had the same interest rate, there's a good chance you'd be saving a lot of money with lower rates. But if there's more competition, I'm rambling right now, but the price could go up, and that offset that you'd be saving may not actually be there, okay? And, a pro of lower interest rates is it might be cheaper to buy a house or a property that you really want than renting. When you really break down the numbers and look at everything, hey, I could actually own an asset for the same amount that I'm paying. Or maybe it's even cheaper because the rates are dropping, okay? And this is a very great opportunity. So if the interest rates get down to here, or maybe they stay at 6.5%, maybe 6.3%, that's a great opportunity to ask for concessions. And instead of maybe paying for closing costs, now when rates are already lower, maybe you can buy down the interest rate even lower by concessions. So it's a huge opportunity to even get a lower mortgage interest payment because of concessions. So that's something to think about when it goes to negotiating, okay? So hopefully now you understand, yes, interest rates are dropping and they're predicting to drop even more, but it's also a double-edged sword. There's pros and cons of interest rates dropping, and now hopefully you understand some of those pros and cons. If you learned anything, please subscribe on YouTube. Any other platform, like and follow for more, and comment if you want me to go into detail on anything else. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.